UFC Fight Night Vegas 33, Hall vs Strickland just took place, and I'm going to go through the entire card, starting with the early prelims, ending with the main event, giving my reaction and breakdown to every single fight on the card, and my overall event recap, starting with the early prelim opener of Phillip Rowe versus Orion Cosce. Good scrap to start off the card. Phillip Rowe gets the job done by second round TKO. He had a bit of a weight advantage going in there. He looked like an entire division above Orion Cosce out there. Plus, he missed weight by a couple of pounds as well, so that's not really a good look. Even still, Orion Cosce didn't lose because of the weight difference, in my opinion. It wasn't like Phillip Rowe was just too big for him on the feet and was just able to just out-scramble him, and he took down Orion Cosce, and Cosce couldn't get back up. Orion Cosce was doing good in the first round. He got a couple of takedowns, had his moments. Then in round 2, he just completely gassed out after one round. So, that's what happens when you are in the UFC and you have 5 minutes of cardio. He completely gassed out after one round and was just throwing bombs back and forth, trying to make something happen. But Phillip Rowe had better conditioning, landed better shots, and eventually got the finish. Landed some good shots to the body as well, some good knees in the clinch. And Orion Cosce was just trying to punch over the top of a tie clinch, which is not what you ever want to do, and was just trying to wing bombs back at Phillip Rowe, trying to catch him on the chin and put him down. Phillip Rowe dropped him at one point in the fight, but then again, Orion Cosce fought back. He did show some good heart, but man, he just does not have cardio in any way whatsoever, and that's what happens. Phillip Rowe got the job done in the second round by TKO. Orion Cosce goes down. Both Cosce brothers exposed as fucking nothing but hype jobs. Literally, they have no fucking cardio past the first round. Moving on, up the card, Ryan Benoit versus Zarrukh Adashev. Now, I know by the records, this might not seem like a great fight. However, it was a pretty fun contest. I actually thought this one was pretty close. I thought that maybe this one could go to Zarrukh Adashev. I do believe it should have gone to Zarrukh Adashev. I gave Zarrukh Adashev the first and the second round, but watching it live, I thought I gave Ryan Benoit the third round because he was landing some good shots. No, sorry, I gave Zarrukh Adashev the second and third round, and I thought because Ryan Benoit dropped Zarrukh Adashev in the first, then he would get the first round, of course, but that's what happened here. Apparently, some judges didn't see it that way. 30-27 on 2 of the judges' scorecards, even though Ryan Benoit literally dropped Zarrukh Adashev in round 1. No idea what's going on with the judging, but they didn't see it that way, I guess. They saw it as Zarrukh Adashev dropping Benoit, obviously. So he got that round. But yeah, Zarrukh Adashev should have won anyway. I know he backed up the whole time, but he was just outstriking Ryan Benoit. And that calf kick, he only needed a couple of them before Ryan Benoit just couldn't walk on it whatsoever. Ryan Benoit was doing okay, trying for some takedowns, landing some shots in the clinch, looking for some big bombs on the feet in the third round. But man, Zarrukh Adashev, very good win. We now have to sit and endure a 4-3 fighter in the UFC. We can't cut him because he's coming off a win, so we have to sit through this fucking career. If he wins, he'll be 5-3. If he loses, he'll be 4-4 and he'll get another chance because he's only on a 1-fight losing streak. We're now stuck with this shit stain on a card. Sorry. Zarrukh Adashev looked good, but his record is just going to be an absolute shit stain for every single card moving forward because it will never look good for the next 2 years unless he goes on a 10-fight undefeated run. Moving on up the card, Jinh Frey versus Ashley Yoder. I picked Jinh Frey to win. She got the job done over Ashley Yoder pretty conveniently as well, or pretty obviously. She got the job done over Ashley Yoder, just pieced her up every single round pretty much. Ashley Yoder did have some moments here and there, but overall it was just Jinh Frey being way too technical for Ashley Yoder. I mean, Ashley Yoder has no idea what she's doing. The numbers are actually quite close, but man, Jinh Frey just landed way better shots every single round. Yoder might have landed some good shots with jabs, just lightly bouncing off the face of Jinh Frey, or a couple of right hands that would bounce off the shoulder and glance off the head. But Jinh Frey was wobbling her with some big shots throughout the fight, landing good shots overall, and they ended up giving her every single round 30-27. She just landed the way more impactful shots every single round, rocked Ashley Yoder here and there, looked like she had her hurt on multiple occasions, but just couldn't really find the finish. Jinh Frey mixed it up more, landed big shots on the chin of Ashley Yoder. You've got to get rid of Ashley Yoder now, right? Because she's 8-8, so we got to get rid of her now. This is the situation on this card. Like, you've got to get rid of these losers. Like, that's what they're there for. You've got to get rid of Ryan Benoit. you've got to get rid of Yoder. Jinh Frey, 11-6, not even a bad record looking nowadays, but, you know, Jinh Frey, good win, decision win, scrappy, got it done over the 3 rounds. Moving on up the card, Danny Chavez versus Kamaka the third. I went with Danny Chavez here. They ended up fighting to a draw. Man, Danny Chavez, he looked okay. I thought I gave him the first round against Kamaka. I'm just going to check the stats now. Maybe I'm going to be incorrect on this, but no, I gave Chavez the third. The first round is close, but I thought Chavez could have got the job done in the first round. I thought, actually, Chavez could have got the job done in the third round as well. But I didn't mind it either way on any of those rounds. So I thought it was going to be a draw. They ended up making it a draw. I think that's the correct decision, in all honesty. Plus, I know Kamaka had a very good second round, and he did win the second round. And he did land great calf kicks on Danny Chavez as well in that fight. But Kamaka, like, I poked him badly and groin shotted him pretty badly. And I thought that Danny Chavez was just going to take his way out and get his money and leave and get a win by disqualification. Because it looked like that's where it was going. The way he went down, he looked like Bilal Muhammad on the ground, crying almost on the floor, hunched over really badly in pain. And Danny Chavez, man, he kept going. Credit to him. A lot of people don't do that nowadays. In the Aljo era, it is frowned upon to continue after an eye poke or groin shot. So, credit to Danny Chavez. He continued out there, and he fought to a fight where he could have easily just taken the win, but instead he wanted to fight till the end. He got a draw against Kamaka. Not the result he was looking for, I'm sure, but either way, yeah, that was that fight. Decent scrap back and forth. Kamaka landing the leg kicks. Chavez landing some big shots upstairs here and there. Good stuff. Moving on up the card, Gruetszemacher versus Rafa Garcia. I know some people had a problem with this decision, but I liked the decision. I thought Rafa Garcia could get the first round because he looked like he rocked Gruetszemacher at one point. Didn't go to the body at all, just constantly headhunted Gruetszemacher, eventually gassing himself out in the second and losing that round quite badly. Gruetszemacher got the second round in my opinion, and Gruetszemacher got the third round, so I had it 29-28 Gruetszemacher. Yeah. Pretty obviously, in my opinion. I thought it was a clear win. I know some people have it for Rafa Garcia. He did have some takedowns here and there. You got one in the first round, one in the second round, and a couple in the third round. A couple of them in the third round, and ended up controlling for about 2 minutes or so in the third round. But, man, Gruetszemacher was the only one doing any damage. Rafa Garcia was just laying in half guard, not doing anything whatsoever. He's trained for an entire decade for this to be his career, and he doesn't understand that he might have to do damage rather than just laying on his opponent while they punch him. I don't understand what Rafa Garcia was doing, man. On short notice, he goes out there and goes 3 hard rounds with Nasrat Haqparast and pushes a very hard pace. In this one, on a full camp, he can't go past the first round without completely gassing out. So, Rafa Garcia looked slow, looked lethargic. I don't know how he was 12-0 in any way. No idea how he was 12-0 in any way whatsoever. Yeah, he's going to need to fix his game. Maybe cut him from the UFC. I know he's only on a 2-fight losing streak, but this is to Gruetszemacher. This was supposed to be a free win for Rafa Garcia, so I don't think he's ready. He definitely needs to have more than 5 minutes of fucking cardio if this is what he wants to do as his career. But Rafa Garcia, man, he showed up. It was a great scrap back and forth. Both guys landed good shots. Gruetszemacher kept the pace on, landed great body shots throughout the fight. Eventually, once he started to notice that Rafa Garcia was slowing down, he started digging to the body. Man, Gruetszemacher, dangerous. Got the win. Shows how good Alexander Hernandez is, I guess. But I just feel like if Rafa Garcia didn't headhunt the whole time in the first round, probably could have got the job done. Either way, Gruetszemacher gets it done. Moving on. That's, by the way, an all-underdog prelim card. Every single fight on the prelims was an underdog win. Moving on to the main card, where another underdog got a big win. Bryan Barbarena versus Jason Witt. Jason Witt gets it done against Bryan Barbarena. Bryan Barbarena, the guy who was beating Vicente Luque, the guy that really badly had Leon Edwards in trouble and almost finished him and had a really close fight with Leon Edwards. Like, Jason Witt just beats him, knocks him down twice in one of the rounds, and then just outdoes him with takedowns. And, man, I must say, for Bryan Barbarena, a guy who's been around for a very long time, I haven't seen takedown defense that absolute shit in a very long time. So credit to Bryan Barbarena, he definitely shocked me. I haven't seen takedown defense that shit in so long. He just got instantly taken down every single attempt by Jason Witt. Don't get me wrong, Jason Witt did have some good moments, and he won the second round based on the knockdowns, even though he was losing on the feet. I guess he got the first round, he landed more shots as well there, and then in the third round he had his moments too. He actually got really badly hurt in the third round, but still stayed in there. Jason Witt gets the job done. 29-27 on one of the judges' scorecards, which is interesting, but 29-28 overall. One judge had it majority draw. What? But okay. Interesting judging again here. Very, very interesting judging here, but Jason Witt got the job done, man. He won that fight, had more control, had more takedowns, had more significant strikes in the rounds where he needed them, and yeah, that's what happens. Well done, Bryan Barbarena. No takedown defense, and Jason Witt just scoops you up, dunks you on the canvas, lands shots where he needs to. Bryan Barbarena started to take over in the third, and obviously if there was a bit longer, he probably would have got a finish, but man, great fight. Great scrap back and forth. I think it got fight of the night as well, so credit to both of them. They got 50k. Jason Witt, big win. Moving on up the card, Melsik Baghdasaryan versus Collin Anglin. On my actual card predictions, I picked Anglin, but on the night tonight where I was watching the fights, I picked Melsik. I put him in my parlay. Did a bit more research. I'm sorry, guys. It was put together a little bit short notice on this card. But yeah, Melsik Baghdasaryan, he just looked great out there, man. Collin Anglin had some moments in the clinch where he would look like he was maybe about to land some good knees on Melsik, but Melsik kept his range, landed good body kicks, good front kicks to the stomach, good jabs, good shots on the feet, and just kept his range so well, man. Never really got caught up in an exchange or a scrappy back and forth scrap with hooks here and there. Just stayed at range, kept his own, eventually getting a head kick in the second round, putting down Collin Anglin, who just, the way he went down, he like wobbled to the canvas, had no idea where he was. Melsik goes up, lands one more follow-up shot, and they step in. Worthy stoppage. Collin Anglin gets put down in the second round by head kick TKO. Good fight, though. Decent one. Melsik showed that he can stuff some takedowns and get back up from some takedowns as well. And Collin Anglin showed that he's somewhat okay, but Melsik was just a little bit better than him on the feet, and it showed tenfold, and he got a big KO win. Not happy with his performance, but I think he should be, because it was a good win and he got a head kick KO. Moving on up the card, Niklas Stolze versus Jared Gooden. I picked Jared Gooden to win by KO. He goes out there and gets it done by KO. Jared Gooden, brutal win over Niklas Stolze. Just a one-punch finish. It wasn't even... I don't understand how a chin can be so bad. Niklas Stolze's chin, like, what is it made of? The punch got held up in the middle of it being thrown. Like, it was literally a... I'm not over-exaggerating. Go, stop it. Oh, get away, you rotter. That's what it was. And he went down from it and got KO'd by it. Not even gets knocked down and, like, has to recover, but then gets put out with the follow-up shot. No. He genuinely got put out by it. I've never seen such a weak chin in my life. But then again, James Vick exists, so maybe I have. Jared Gooden lands a big shot in the first round. I thought he would win, but I predicted more from humanity to be able to take such damage. But no, Jared Gooden puts him out. Good win. Said he didn't want to leave it in the hands of the judges, and he didn't. And that's how you do it. First round KO for Jared Gooden. I suspect he'll be getting a bonus as well. Moving on up the card, Cheyanne versus Gloria de Paula. I went with Cheyanne, and she ended up getting it done in the first round with a head kick as Gloria de Paula was getting back up from on bottom. It was very Eric Anders versus somebody-esque. I can't quite remember who it was that Eric Anders did it to, but he landed that head kick on them pretty badly as they were scrambling back up to their feet, and Cheyanne did exactly the same thing on Gloria de Paula, and that's what happens. There you go. As she's getting back up to her feet, quick head kick straight on the chin. Down goes Gloria de Paula. Cheyanne tries to walk off, goes for her afterwards, lands a couple of follow-up shots on the ground. Gloria de Paula is absolutely done. Cheyanne gets her first win in the UFC and a good win in a co-main event, and she's hot, so good stuff. Cheyanne co-main event of a fight night. Good head kick KO though, so it made up for it, I guess. It could have been a boring 3-round decision, sorry. It could have been like a half-guard simulator for 15 minutes, but instead a head kick KO, I'll take it. Moving on to the main events, Uriah versus Sean Strickland. Already spoken about this one, but Sean Strickland, man, looking better and better every single fight, just goes out there against Uriah Hall and does what Sean Strickland does. Walks him down, puts it on him, put the pressure on him, put the pace on him, landing over and over and over again with the jab, and just jabbed his mush up for 5 fucking rounds straight. I don't know how a judge gave a round to Uriah Hall. I get some of them were competitive in the early 2, but Sean Strickland clearly won the fight. He mixed in takedowns at the end of the rounds, took the back here and there, landed some good shots on top, got half guard very well, got some side control positions, went for a submission attempt, I believe, of an arm triangle at one point, but Sean Strickland, great stuff. Uriah Hall just had no answer for the pressure. Normally he would land that one big shot, and maybe he did in this fight, but it just didn't so happen to KO Sean Strickland because he's got a good chin as well. And he does have a good chin because he took some big shots from Uriah Hall and just kept going towards his game plan, which is just pressuring Uriah Hall, breaking him down, mentally breaking him, and just jabbing his face off. And that's what Sean Strickland did for 5 rounds. I think he broke a strike record in the middleweight division over 5 rounds, which is very, very impressive in the middleweight division, especially because they're big guys. Sean Strickland, dangerous style that might get him caught one day, but it works and it keeps working, and I believe in him, which is why I picked him to put on a 5-round clinic against Uriah Hall, and that's exactly what he did. Good win from Sean Strickland. Uriah Hall just doesn't have the mental toughness to get it done. Yeah, Sean Strickland, great win. Like, there's not much else to say here. It was a bit of a empty card, not too many fights on tonight, but yeah, here we are. The fight card's over, and Pitbull just got finished by AJ McKee as well. I saw that in the middle of recording one of my other videos. Yeah, head kick KO. I was wrong about that one, but the UFC, that's where I get him right. I went 5-4-1 overall out of the 10 fights, which is somehow positive, which is crazy because every single fight on the card until the second fight into the main card was an upset, so that was pretty strange. But you know, good stuff. Uriah Hall loses in the main event. Yeah, there you go. That's the fucking card. Performance bonuses. I'd say Jared Gooden and Cheyanne get the performance bonuses, only because Cheyanne begged and she's in the co-main and she got a head kick KO in the first round. First round KO for Jared Gooden within the first minute, and he saved the fight and stepped up on short notice as well, so you kind of got to give him a bit of a bonus for that, in my opinion. And fight of the night, I guess, can go to Bryan Barbarena versus Jason Witt, or Gruetszemacher versus Rafa Garcia, but I would say fight of the night is Barbarena versus Witt. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Click that button up there. Toodle pip. I'll see you later. Goodbye.